right, man. So it's a very good afternoon to everybody, right? So our panel is a very interesting one. You know, we have good people who knows marketing very well. So let's start off with a quick introduction. You know, so my name is Andy. You know, I'm based in Singapore. I do a lot of venture investing. I give advice to government. Right now, I'm still giving advice to a couple of them. You know, I'm also an advisor to Bybit exchange. You know, so this is what I do on a very daily basis. And let me just put this to my lovely panel.
Thanks, Andy. Guys, how you doing? Hope you're well. My name is Mirko. I'm the director of Web3 at Lightblue. We were awarded Best Experiential Agency in Middle East in 2022. We're blurring the line between physical and digital. We were responsible for the launch of PlayStation 5, with 2 people jumping off the Burj Khalifa, turning the entire city blue. And now we're doing that on a digital twin base. So I launched a Web3 department. Prior to that, I used to lead the marketing for Huawei, both at a global, regional level, and then Australia. And prior to that, I used to be between Sashi and Bulgari. So a very strong background in marketing, and I'm really for a very fun conversation. Over to you.
Wow, that's some scary, big stuff. Governments, fashion brands. Hi, everybody. Good morning. This is a crypto morning. It's only noon. I'm Shashwat. I have been a novelist, startup founder in normal human world before Web3. And for the past 3 years, I've been like a marketeer in Web3 full time. Currently, I'm CMO at this company called NFT3. Our lead investors are Animoca Brands. And what we're baking is basically how you're going to sign into any and every Web3 thing in the future. Your Face ID for Web3 is essentially what we're making. I will say 2 comments already on both of you guys, right? Bybit, a huge fan of the referral program. You guys murdered with that. It's famous, to be honest, amongst exchanges, how successful that was, you know?
Hold on.
And you, dude, I was looking up. So, you know, I think when we speak about mass adoption, specifically when it comes to our job, marketing, right? This is the kind of person that's missing. Somebody who's culturally oriented, who's worked with a fashion brand, who's written a novel, who's able to speak to people in a language that they understand. It's not overtly technical or speculative. It's actually cultural, right? So lovely to be here on this panel with you guys, and hope to have a good conversation.
That's great. That's great. Let's start off this conversation. You know, it's good that we are just connected right now. You know, everything is not scripted. I just have the very nice thought in my mind. You know, I've seen a lot of good marketing campaigns. You know, within the Web3 space, within the Web2 space, right? But I also see a lot of bad habits that is flowing from Web2 to Web3. You know, in terms of marketing, yeah, because Web3 is very fast, very nimble at times. But then as the progress flow through, I realize there's a lot of bad habits from Web2 flowing into the Web3 space. Are there anything that you do not want to see, or any bad habits that you do not want to see from a marketing perspective, Web2 to Web3 kind of marketing? What do you dislike, and what can be done a lot better?
Well, first of all, guys, let's have fun. I'd love to get to know my audience a little bit. Is there any marketers here? Can you raise your hand if there is any marketers?
Anybody guilty of doing marketing?
1,
oh my
2,
God.
Okay,
Wow.
cool. All right, so work with me on this. Can I ask you if, as part of your marketing activities, you're running any print ads or radio? Are you doing any of that? No. Are you running social media? Yeah? Are you running and using AI, NFTs, tokenomics, any of that? So what I actually did is I showed you what Web 1 marketing was, print and radio, Web 2 marketing is, so social media, and what Web 3 marketing will be, and it is already. So AI, NFTs, metaverse, digital twin, virtual store. So guys, we need to embrace this thing as marketers because we should be the ambassador to really help people to understand things they're hard to understand. So as a marketer, please avoid to use terminology that people will never get. Don't talk about decentralization because people won't get about what it is. Don't talk about DAO. Talk about things like you would explain to a 2-year-old and say, imagine a store when instead of being static, it goes into a beautiful world where you can embrace, you can fall in love with a product, you can immerse yourself with a product. So to answer your question, I think the habit we should avoid is to overcomplicate things that are very, very easy to tell. And I think back to your point, it's about being a novelist and a storyteller. And if you're not good at that, do something else.
Yeah, I think I'll try and build on that a little bit. I'll try and anchor it with a word, somewhat offensive word to me personally. Corporatization tends to happen. So because I've been working in the space for a while, and what I've noticed is that there's initially it was a lot of L1s trying to market to developers. They wanted them to build. So that's why it was an overtly technical, heavy tone, because they were speaking to developers. So that made sense. But when these L1s get very, very big, right? Everybody starts to emulate them, and the L1s get corporatized. So then what ends up happening is the same peer-to-peer ethos that Web3 began with and is supposed to have starts to get diluted, and people are, a lot more dependent again in terms of marketing on centralized, so to speak, things. And I'm using words that are very adjacent to, the core of what we do here. But it's like, well, PR is not the most important thing. PR is required, but if on the ground you don't have any users or enthusiasts in your community who care about what you do, then I don't think anybody can help you. Because this is fundamentally the shift from Web 2 to Web 3 is it's not top-down, it's peer-to-peer. So if your marketing does not have a perspective of, I hate to use the word virality, but at least using the incentive engineering that Web3 brings to you through tokens or NFTs, which are really just tokens as well, if your focus is more on that top-down PR or who big can tweet us and stuff like that, then I think there's a fundamental disconnect because you're not really getting what Web3 is, and so you're not selling it the right way. So I think it's about doing both. Of course, there's a balance in everything, but focusing more on the peer-to-peer, much like Bybit's referral, by the way.
No, I mean, coming back to the point about, marketing, and you mentioned about exchanges like Bybit, etc. How effective do you see maybe affiliate marketing in a Web3 environment? Do you think that is something that is really going to be very effective?
Absolutely. Because, like I said, it's about doing your own research, looking into things on your own. But that also means that there's a less of a reliance on large opinion leaders. Affiliate marketing in a much more one-to-one, here's my friend, I'll show him something cool way, rather than large notes spreading to their network. I think that moving forward, that's kind of probably referred to one is going to be a thing. I know some projects are already working on it, So I think affiliate marketing will go more grassroots and probably sometimes more geography specific. So say somebody who's in South Korea really understands that market. And if I want to, as is me, NFT3, I want to enter that market, I would much rather find some nodes in the actual network there who are into crypto, into Web3, much more than find a PR firm there and put an article out and then that's it,
100%. I had a chat with Nisha, from WazzaX CEO. Now he's doing Shadam.
Shardium, yeah.
Shadam. So what he did is also very smart. He does a lot of community-driven events. Maybe 1 month he's going to do about 30 to 35 of them, and then he starts to bring people in, to talk about the brand. Of course, that's maybe an indirect way to look at affiliate marketing, but I see that affiliate marketing is actually bringing very good communities together,
Yep.
And I think this is part of the essence of how Web3, or how cryptocurrencies are based upon. What do you think, Matt?
Well, I'm going to give you an interesting insight. Before this panel, I went on ChatGPT and I asked ChatGPT how many marketing job would be replacing. So social media marketing would be entirely replaced by ChatGPT. Email marketing would be entirely replaced by ChatGPT. Market research and analysts would be entirely replaced. So as a marketer, where do we provide value? If there is one thing that ChatGPT cannot replace, and that's this. It's feeling, it's emotion, it's connecting people. It's there that we can provide the value that ChatGPT will never be able to provide. because effectively it's AI. I worked in AI, I started my career in AI back in 2015, and what I can tell you is we need to go back to basics, right? We need to make people feel something. You need to give the goosebumps, and you need to work into the attention span. Because guys, the reality is that human beings have an attention span which is lower than a goldfish. It's around 7 seconds. Imagine how many things we can do, how many things a goldfish can do. We can do definitely more. So the point goes back to, please focus on the one mission statement that you give to yourself, amplify that, and connect people. Yes, it is about community. And I was in another panel saying, community, community, community. But why are we always talking about community if we never ask what the community wants, what the community needs? How can we help our community? So go back to basic. Web3 has the opportunity to connect the dots. Be the connector.
Yeah, I'll try and throw another word in there as an anchor, ambassador. And this is, you know, in Web3 marketing circles, ambassadors and ambassador programs are used and abused very highly. But I would like to offer an insight that I got building NFT3's community over the past 2 years. We did not engineer an ambassador program. We didn't do that. We began a community, started talking about ourselves, the need for identity. Just a quick question, by the way. How many people are fans of what Facebook has done with our data? Do you guys love that or hate that? Please raise your hands if you hate that. Anybody hates that? You have to check out isme.is. This is kind of how I market it. What's the referent? What's the problem that we're solving? So now these people hear about ISME, they're going to look into it. And over a year and a half, we noticed which community members then became very, very active, very emotional about the project. And then we kind of gave them a badge of, literally a badge of honor, started calling them NFT3 fellows. Like a fellowship of people who really care about personal data sovereignty. No money, not even an NFT yet. We'll probably do that at some point. But just appreciation of on-ground voluntary participators in the community, you know. And I think that makes the best affiliate marketer for a Web3 project. Because this person now gets the vision already. If I incentivize him even a little bit, it's going to go off to the races. But so just something I wanted to share.
I think it goes back to how the community is being incentivized, you know, and how we understand what the community wants. So I think these are the very basic things that we need to have. And to be very honest, if you look at some of these projects that are coming out, you know, a lot of degens are pushing it, you know, they are trying to ride on the hype. They're trying to ride on the passion. You know, they're trying to ride on the wave. So let's join, you know, let's earn some money together. You know, do you think that such a way to market is actually not sustainable? Do you think, example, you know, you reward them with the token in a token supply versus within the tokenomics of a tax, you know, which would be more sustainable, you know, to use that for marketing?
I'll let you go first.
I think there is a film hype and hyper reality. So what's hype? What's hyper reality, and what do you provide value? So to answer your question, I want to just get something from the public. How many of you guys got a membership? Do you have any memberships? Any? How many ends for a membership? Okay. How many of you guys got an NFT? Okay. 5 years from now, most likely, when I'll ask the same question, most of the ends will be up on NFTs rather than membership, because it will be exactly the same things. There is an interesting case study by Starbucks. They've done exactly the same things. They affiliated their customers through what they call STAMP, aka NFTs, connecting the dots and helping people by providing value. What value? Free coffees for life? That'd be a good value? Pretty sure so. Tasting, let's say, the pumping latte around Halloween before other people can test it. So guys, again, we need to go back on what the customer wants. And there are so many ways that you can do that. And I'll give you 4 quick things as a toolkit. You want to build a community? Go and check out DAOs. There are great DAOs that are probably doing things that you're doing. Instead of building an entire community from scratch, it will take you forever. I've done it myself. It took me a long time. Do you want a referral program, brand NFTs? Get on NFTs, they actually make sense instead of being speculation. And then virtual store is probably the last one. Move from e-commerce to v-commerce because we'll be living in a digital world and it's on us to understand where to target people and how. Passing to you.
Yeah, I'll agree as well as slightly disagree here in the sense that a new mistake I think is being, like I mentioned earlier, right? L1's marketing to developers, overtly technical marketing as a result. The other end of that spectrum, by the way, is what you were talking about with overtly speculative marketing because people were, let's be honest, just using retail as exit liquidity, okay? So as any Web3 project, you know, whether I'm working with them or advising them or investing in them or whatever it is, I always say that there's a balance that needs to be maintained. You need to look technically proficient, of course, but you need to know who needs to know how much about the tech. Like, for example, a VC for the first meeting doesn't really need to know exactly how it's working, much more the TAM, the team, so on and so forth, right? Similarly, sadly, with Web3, some bit of the speculation is necessary. If there isn't a financial incentive, onboarding is not as fast. That being said, exactly how to calibrate it is the hard part. You know, to blow it out one way, overtly technical or overtly speculative, that's easy. Calibrating is hard. Now, returning to NFTs, right? My thesis is, as long as we keep calling them NFTs, we will never get them adopted. Because again, it's an overtly technical term that frankly means nothing to the average person, sounds stupid and nerdy, it's a little boring. Call them badges, call them tickets, call them memberships, collectibles, any bloody thing apart from NFTs is probably going to be better, you know. And the thing about it is, if we are excited about the tech and the revolution that I do agree it brings, we can't be marketing that. What does it do for them? That's the main game, I think, you know. So it's a balance in everything.
All right. I think that there's time is running short. Let's have a very quick sum up. You know, what is give our audience right here? Give them a quick takeaway. How you can help them with marketing? Give them some good tips. Just a quick line. You know.
Marketing will go. Web3 marketing will go beyond SEO, website, social medias. Will be about immersive experience. Be about giving to the community. Will be about leveraging these incredible tools to connect all the dots that in Web 1 and Web 2 you couldn't do.
Okay, I'll try and leave you guys with this. This is a Web3 physical conference. That is all the evidence we need for where Web3 marketing will go. It doesn't matter what the mechanical applications of it right now are, whether you're doing it on Twitter or Telegram or Nostr or Isme or wherever it is. You're going to have to connect with people one-to-one in a human way. That is the core message, I think, for all marketing. As long as you can connect with people, you're good. Use the latest tools, of course. NFTs are hot, use them. Metaverse is coming in, try and understand. Be curious, but remember to be human. That's my thing.
That's a good one. My final take is like what my book said. You know, my book is NFT from zero to hero. My message to everyone is the new assets are all in the digital world right now. You know, we really need to study more about Web3, get yourself involved, and you will find a lot of good treasures along the way. All right, so thank you, everybody.
Thank you, guys.
You know,
Thank
let's
you.
catch up
Cheers.
off the stage.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, guys.